Okay, I thought I muted everyone.
At least I want to
No. Mm. All right, so today we are going to look at two things, risk and leverage. Okay, so what is risk? Um, Risk is simply a situation involving exposure to danger. So in this case, we are trading with money, real money. So you want to have some risk guidelines in order not to blow all your money away. Okay, so we are not gambling, guys. So you need to have a risk management system, and we are going to talk about how that works. Okay, for every capital you have floating in your account, you need to have a risk that will help you last longer in the game. This will also help you be able to trade, open more trades at a time. All right, so let's talk about risk. So just as I've explained what risk exactly is, it's risk is it's expressed in ratios. All right, so in forex it's expressed in ratios. So you need to understand what really it means. So let's begin with one-to-one risk, for example. So let me go to what. So guys, I'm hoping that you do know how to calculate pips as well. If you don't, well, then you didn't go through baby pips. So I'll also give you a simple way to calculate the number of pips. So let's begin. We're trading Euro USD. Okay, so this is your pair at the price. Let's set a price of 1.09550. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. So risk is expressed in ratios. So I'll begin with the simplest. So let's say a one-to-one risk. What does this mean? So a one-to-one risk simply means, hey, you guys can't see my screen. Weird. Hey Sharon, how are you?
Hello.
What do you mean you can't see my screen?
I don't know, but it's just white.
It's just white. That's weird. Let me unmute
And that's
you.
what's happening. I don't know.
Yeah, it's white.
You guys can't see my screen.
Yeah, we can't.
It's white. Hold on, hold on. And now, can you see my screen now?
No?
You still can't see my screen?
Yeah.
Wow. Just a moment. And now, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now? Hello.
You can see it.
You can see.
You can see the screen now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me keep you guys unmuted so that you can ask me questions directly. But please do not make any noise in the background. Hmm? So guys, let go of your babies and let go of your dogs. All right. So we're trading Euro USD.
Yeah.
We're trading Euro USD. Okay. At the price, this is the price. All right. So this is the price. We're trading Euro USD at the price 1.09550. So guys, is there anyone who knows how to calculate the number of pips? Or is there anybody who doesn't, so that I address that issue right now? I want to talk about that together with risk and leverage at once.
I didn't.
Yeah? Oh, wait, I meet this guy. Just muted. So guys, let me address the pips thing right now. All right. If you don't understand, please you ask me. Okay. So a normal currency pair will have a price such as this, 1.09550. Okay. Other currency pairs, the price will be different, and that's because the pip value is different. So some pairs, the way we calculate the number of pips is different. Okay. So this is the most common. So let me begin with the regular pairs. Okay. So the regular pairs will have 4 decimal points. Okay. So this has 0955. So these are 4. Okay. So these are 4. What about this? This last one is a fraction. Okay. It's a fraction of an order. Okay. It's just like the way you can have we in the past we used to have this available. I used to be able to we used to have a 50 shillings coin, I guess. Okay, so until it was scrapped off. Okay. However, banks, forex brokers, they're supposed to show you um, every detail of of every trade execution you're taking within them. So no, who is this? Who is this? Who is making noise for me? Let me mute everyone. Sorry, I was competing with someone. So this last one is a fraction. So this may be known as a cent. Okay, this is a cent. So So let's begin with this last digit. So this is a cent. So when you're calculating the number of pips, you do not have to consider this last digit, okay? Because it represents a cent value, okay? And we want exact figures, okay? We're not going to hunt for 50 point something pips. We want 50 pips net. So this digit, the number 5, this is where you begin from. The number 5 represents 1 pip, okay? The next one represents 10 pips. The next one 1,000 pips, like that, okay? So when you're calculating, when you want to execute a trade of, let's say, 50 pips, let me say I buy Euro USD. If you buy and you aim for 50 pips, you're going to add 50 to these last 2 digits, all right? So 50 pips, this is 50, so you add the 50 right here. So you realize that 50 pips, if you bought Euro USD and aimed for 50 pips, and you actually gain the 50 pips, your take profit would be at the price 1 point. After I add 50 pips here, I get the price 1.1005. Okay. So this is the new price. This is the price you're aiming at achieving. So if you bought your USD and managed to attain the 50 pips, your order would close at a profit of plus 50 pips at the price this one. Okay, simply we've added the price here, so you can go and practice this. So yeah, so if I want, I can ignore the last digit on the new current price, but to be exact, it would look something like this. So what if I sold? So if I sold, this would do, we would do the opposite. Sorry, the inverse. Okay. So if you sell and you're aiming for 50 pips again, where do you think your target will be this time? So this time you're selling. So you're going to deduct the 50 here. Okay. So after you deduct the 50 here, you'll have 1.0905. So that will be your target price, 0905. All right. So guys, a gain of 50 pips will take you to the price 1.1005. A short position will take you 1.0905. Okay. So so let's talk about stop loss and take profit. So take profit is your target. So take profit it's the price you would like to close the trade. It's the depending on your risk. We're going to talk about risk and leverage. So in this case, since my target is 50 pips, take profit would be at this price, and I've shown you just how you can calculate that. If I'm taking a short position, and that means I'm selling. If I'm selling Euro USD with a target of 50 pips in mind, you deduct 50 from this price, and then this will be your take profit. Okay, so let's talk about stop loss. So stop loss, stop loss is a risk measure. It's very important. It's the maximum loss you're willing to lose on each trade you take. So stop loss is really important. So in case your trade goes south, your order will automatically close, even if you're not watching it, as long as you set the stop loss. So it's key that you have a stop loss for every trade you enter, all right? So stop loss, it's the inverse. So let's say in the event that I was buying Euro USD with a 50 pip target in mind. So let me say I'm using also a stop loss of 50 pips. So in this case, let's come here. Let's deal with the buy position. What's stop loss? SL stands for stop loss, okay? So what's the stop loss here of 50 pips? This time, since we're buying, okay, notice that since we're buying, our target is going to be up. It's going to be up in the chart, all right? You'll have a chart and your target will be up, okay? I don't know if I can try to do a small chart here. So let me do a small chart here. No, sorry. So this is the graph for Euro USD. This is the chart. So, but if I'm buying, that means I want price to go up. Okay. So let's say our price is at. Remember, price is on the right hand side of your vertical axis. So price is usually this side. Okay. So let me say we have a current price here, and you want to buy from here. So if I'm buying and I have a 50 pip target in mind, let's say it's you find it here. So if I buy from this point, guys, I hope you can see this small diagram. So if I buy from this point with a 50 pip, so this would be my take profit. This point, this would be my take profit, assuming price rises to that point. Okay. So let's say price was to go the opposite. You've bought, but price is going the opposite way. That means the trade is not going okay for you. Okay, but if you have a risk management plan, in this case, a 50 pip loss, you're going to deduct 50 pips instead. So the stop loss in a buy position, you deduct, since it's going to be below the entry price. Your entry price will be here. So this is why you deduct, okay? The price is always going to be below the current entry price, which is this one. So guys, I hope you've understood that. So in this case, the stop loss of 50 pips, I'm going to deduct it here. So it will be 1.0905, 0.9050. Okay. So these two numbers are the ones you focus at, these last two numbers. Okay. So that's the stop loss, a stop loss of 50. I hope it makes sense. Please, if you do not understand this after the session, you can ask me these questions. So we're talking about risk, leverage, and currently I'm looking at stop loss, take profit, how to get them configured. So in your MT4, there are points, there are provisions to set your stop loss and take profit. So maybe sometime we shall look at that as well. So back here, so in a sell position, so this time if I sell, obviously my stop loss is going to be high because I'm expecting price to drop lower than my entry price, which is here. So if it goes the negative way, it has to go up. So for that reason, in a sell position, to find your stop loss of 50 pips, you instead add it to the entry price. Okay, so our entry price is this. So a stop loss of 50 pips, I'm going to add 50. I focus here, 50. So my stop loss will be at the price 1.10 or 5. Okay, hope you see how I got that, or 50. Okay, so that is it. That's how you calculate stop loss, take profit. So let's talk about the risk. So I told you risk is it's exposure of your trading equity to danger. Okay, there's always a disclaimer that in forex trading you are liable to lose. You're liable to lose all your trading capital. You should sign up with your broker well knowing that. Okay, so how do you control this? These measures we are talking about, this is what's going to keep you alive in the game for a very long time. Okay, so it's all about risk. Okay, so how would you? So let me give you an example. Let's look at the casinos. So you see, the people go. I don't know how they operate, but I believe they have outrageous amounts of money they give out to the winner. Okay, so but why do you think they keep running? Okay, it's because they know that not everyone is going to win. All right, one person may win, maybe 100,000 US dollars, but how many people do you think uh, went into the casino that day, and how much money do you think they invested, and how much money do you think they lost? It's all about the ratios. Okay, because these guys are statisticians, and they realized that the ratio of the number of people who win compared to the number of people who lose, it's just outrageous. So for that reason, they set up these things. So if you do not understand the concept of risk, you're liable to go in there every day and keep giving away your money. So you have to go with a target, and you have to go um, with unexpected loss. Okay. Well, of course, this helps you not to lose all your trading equity. So let me begin. Remember, it's expressed in ratios. So let me begin with the basic one. So let's talk about a one-to-one risk. So here we are. So when they tell you a risk of one-to-one, okay, this simply means you're, so since it's expressed, you're risking one position, and this is your reward, okay? Your reward is a certain number of pips, but also one position. So let's go back to this trade, okay? So a one-to-one, just know that the first number represents your risk, the second number represents your reward, okay? So in this case, let's say we place one buy order, okay? One buy order. Only this means we open a buy execution on the Euro USD only once, okay? And then that means we're risking. Sorry, let me conclude. One position. Let's say, and now the stop loss comes in and the take profit. Our take profit is 50. And what's the reward? We're risking to make 50 pips. Okay. So when you divide these, you come back to 1-to-1. Okay. So this is how you know that this person placed one order. Okay. When you divide this, you get 1-to-1. So that's just it. So let's talk about a risk of 1-to-2. Okay, and let's see whether, and by the end of this, you'll be able to know which risk is good, which risk is bad. A 1-to-2 risk. Okay, so let me say this means I'm going to open one position. Okay, I open one buy position. Remember, you can open this position more than once. So let me say I open a buy on Euro USD here only once. I go to MT4, I open a buy only once. Okay, but instead, let me say my risk is 2 here. All right, so what does this mean? What does this mean? So the one position I opened, what's my risk? In this case, what's my stop loss? So let me say my stop loss is 50 again. And what's my reward? Let me say this time I don't want 50 pips, I want 100 pips for that position I've opened. Okay, so this means you're risking 50 pips to make 100. Okay, which means you're risking less to make more. So that's how, when you divide this, that's how you come back to 1-to-2. Okay, Why is it good? Why is this good risk? This is excellent risk because you're exposing your account to the least risk available, one position, but you're expecting to make twice. Okay, so this means that if you open 3 different positions with the same let me say 2 positions with the same risk. Okay, let's say 3 positions with the same risk. This means that if you lose out on one position, all right, if you lose out on one position, the profits of one trade will be able to cover for the loss. Okay, simply because you almost doubled. The reward is double to the risk. I hope you get that in the simplest terms. All right. So let's go back on this order. So that is how you. So the next time they ask you about risk, just know the first number represents the reward, and yeah. So let's say we have a risk of 2 to 5. Okay, 2 to 5. A risk of 2 to 5. It means you're going to multiply this by the number of pips you're aiming for. So in this case, 2 times 50, that will be 100. 5 times 50, that will be 250. Okay, so you're risking 100 pips to make 250. Okay, so so let's talk about bad risk. So what would a bad risk structure look like? So let's say you open 3 positions, okay, with a stop loss of 50 pips and the take profit of maybe 20. So what's your stop loss? 50 pips. What's your reward? Take profit, 20. Your first position, you're expecting to make 20 pips, okay? So you're risking 50 pips to make 20 pips. This is not good risk, all right? So the loss is going to be greater. It's going to be greater. Let me make this simpler. Let's say 50, 10, okay? If you lose out on this trade, you're going to lose 5 times. 5 times your trading equity. So a 5 to 1 risk, it's just awful. So please don't do this. It's very awful. Okay, you don't have a stop loss of 50 and a take profit of 10 pips. It's possible, but it's risky. Okay, if your trade hits stop loss, you've lost 5 times more than you would have gained. Okay, so that's bad risk. So in simple terms, this first digit represents your risk, the second one your reward. So like I said, we need to talk about leverage. So leverage is the ability to control. You know what? Because of time, let's talk about leverage in tomorrow's Zoom session. Tomorrow we're going to talk about leverage and correlation. So tomorrow at 7, we have a Zoom. I'm going to talk about correlation. I'm going to introduce correlation. So if you read about correlation somewhere in Baby Pips, tomorrow is when I address it. So I'll spare the first literally 10 minutes to talk about leverage because it's not a very big subject and it will be easy to understand, just like risk. So hopefully you've understood what risk means. So the next time they ask you about risk, you have a starting point. So I'll unmute this session now, and hopefully if you have any questions, you can ask me before the meeting ends. So everyone is unmuted, so if you have a question, please ask me. Who's going first? Coach Jabari. Coach Vianney. Hello? Okay, no questions.
No.
Hello. Hello.
Love me, baby.
Seriously? Okay, so I take it that you guys have understood. Hey. Hello.
Yes, Innocent.
Yes, please.
I would suggest that in the next class you ask us to be with the calculator close with us, because when you scroll up on that page,
Yeah.
first go back up there.
Oh, where?
On that page you are sharing.
Okay,
the
here.
first page.
Here.
Because we are talking of minus 50. It was just confused.
Okay, sorry.
Eh?
Sorry.
Because I'm wondering how you get to have 1.10050
Okay, look
when
here.
you are saying subtract 50 from the other one above.
Look here. Let me explain it very
Yes.
fast, okay? So we've entered at the price 1.09550, okay? I told you this last digit represents a fraction in Forex. It represents a cent. Okay? Olwataano olujjukira.
Ndujjukira.
Kati lwe luno olwataano jjukira nti baalugyawo.
Olwataano tebaalugyawo, olukyaliwo.
Okay, lukyaliwo.
Era lwa tewali.
Okay, yes. Kati lwe luno olwataano, okay? So you in Forex terms we may not consider this as well. So we begin from here. This digit, the first one after the fraction, represents 1 pip. Okay. So the second one represents 10 pip. Okay. The third one represents 100. The next one 1,000. Webacho. Let's take it then. So if I'm using a stop loss of 1 pip, you're going to come to this 5. Ignore the fraction, you come to this. Let's take it.
I get to that 5.
So if let me say I have a stop loss of 1 pip, remember, and I'm buying.
Now.
If I'm buying, it means I'm going to subtract 1 pip from this digit. Okay? Again. So when I subtract 1 from here, I'll have 1.0954 as my stop loss in case I'm buying.
Now let's do this. Yes,
Manyize
nzikiriza nnyo mu kibalo kino kuba njagala kutandika kukola subtraction eziriyo zentegeera mu mutwe gwange. Basomi bannange tebansekerera nnyo.
No. Tugenda kukola wait. Let's do like this. Tomorrow I'll pick it up from here.
Okay.
Get there, like you send in your questions in chat.
Okay.
Kubanga, understanding risk it's very crucial in Forex. Crucial, yeah.
Okay.
So banange kankomao.
Kale.
Who else is asking? Unmute me. No, the session is done. Maybe you're unmuted, but the session is done. Hello?